Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and according to Robinhood, crypto trading has surged 75% in November from previous month. This is all the anticipation of the Bitcoin ETF is what's kind of ramping everything up. But that's fine. I'm all for it. In fact, as I said, I have one Bitcoin in my IRA. For me, that's the way to go. I might even add a little more. I don't know. Just on the anticipation. I can always sell it and buy XRP in there.
I want to bring in now Chamber of Digital Commerce founder, CEO, Perry-Ann Boring. All right, Perry-Ann, I want to begin with the efforts of the government to derail Bitcoin, these central bank digital currencies. I'm reading now where more and more of them are saying they're failing, that they can't live up to the hype and there's no interest.
Actually, the government has not been trying to derail Bitcoin. They've been stalling a Bitcoin ETF, but that's probably more of a timing thing. Even Gary Gensler has been pro-Bitcoin.
Yeah, governments have really been putting their thumb on the scale of innovation and trying to hold back crypto, digital assets, including Bitcoin. But technological progress can only be held back in the short term. In the long term,
look behind her. There's X right there. Go figure.
Is moving forward, and that's what we're seeing in the markets. We're seeing, we saw today El Salvador put out a statement saying their Bitcoin investments are in the black. You mentioned Argentina just elected a pro-Bitcoin president, so we'll expect to see some moves there. We're also hearing rumors that multiple sovereign wealth funds are planning to make very significant investments in Bitcoin. So there is definitely this dichotomy happening between the open source money and closed source money of CBDCs, and we're getting a rally right now.
All right, and then we have this one.
Crypto reporter Mackenzie Sigalo is here to break down the action. Mackenzie, there's never a shortage of maybe reasons or excuses why Bitcoin does what it does: risk appetites, interest rates, the regulation, possible ETF. What do you see driving it right now?
Hey, good morning, Mike. So, as you said, Bitcoin had been testing that $40,000 level the last few days. Finally breached $42,000 earlier this morning, trading at more than 5% in the last 24 hours. Meantime, Ether, the second biggest cryptocurrency by market cap, is back above $2,200. So a couple of things are happening here. For one, the market, as you mentioned, is expecting to finally see a rate cut in the coming year after recent comments from Fed Chair Powell last week. But really the big thing on everyone's mind are these spot Bitcoin ETFs. Traders are increasingly bullish that the SEC will approve one of those applications by the first quarter of 2024, potentially as early as mid-January. This would allow investors to buy into digital currency directly through the same mechanism that they already use to buy stocks and bond ETFs. So you've got top asset managers, including BlackRock, WisdomTree, and Invesco, that have filed applications with the SEC. And part of why this is so significant, Bernstein points out in a note today that these spot Bitcoin ETFs are really the largest pipe ever built between traditional financial markets and crypto financial markets. They're expecting that 10% of Bitcoin in supply, or around $300 billion, will ultimately be managed by these ETFs by 2028.
Managed or controlled?
Meanwhile, CryptoPeg stocks also moving higher this morning. Digital asset exchange Coinbase up more than 6%, MicroStrategy more than 7%, and Bitcoin miner Marathon Digital up more than 9%. Also worth noting, Coinbase is that custody partner for a lot of these spot Bitcoin ETF applications. Their stock was up more than 60% in November, Mike.
They're still playing the Bitcoin Ethereum game, even after all this time, folks. But check this out from CoinDesk. Ripple co-founder Brad Garlinghouse emerged triumphant this year. Legal cases with big implications for crypto's future. He couldn't have done it without the XRP army. This is Jeff Wilser reporting. This is the same guy that did the write-up on ETHgate. Very great journalist, very honest journalist. Those are few and far between. Brad Garlinghouse says 2023 most influential award should be given not just to Garlinghouse, but also the entire XRP army. I couldn't agree more. Check out all this. This is interesting. He said 2023 has truly been great for one for the history books. Thankful to all that believed in us from the beginning. Appreciate the inclusion. Here's the top 10. Here's the list right here. What they should have is a most influential and then most infamous. Put Gary Gensler, Joseph Lubin, Vitalik Buterin, Bill Hinman, and some of those people on the infamous list. But instead, they're just doing a most influential. They've got Brad Garlinghouse down here, but I think they've even got Gary Gensler. But they're kind of putting Brad Garlinghouse as the hero of the thing, which is what they should do. This is an actual NFT that they're letting people bid on, where you can actually get this NFT. I thought that ship had sailed, but I guess not. And then let's see, I've already shown that. Here's the article that was written. The XRP Army's role in shaping, this is the section I wanted to show to you. Back in the Hammerstein Ballroom on stage, he had just told the crowd that December of 2020 was a dark time for him. Then he added a crucial coda. I don't know if I've ever heard that word, coda. It was kind of a dark time. And out of nowhere comes a ray of sunshine, he told the crowd. And that sunshine is named John Deaton. Again, the crowd roared. Garlinghouse pointed to the tall, bald, muscular, goateed lawyer John Deaton, who in many ways emboldens the heart and soul and the brains of the XRP Army. Deaton raised a fist of solidarity, pumped the fist. The crowd cheered like he's a rock star, and to them he is. It was Deaton, with the help of XRP champions like Brad Combs and digital asset investor, who rallied the XRP community to petition the judge that actually they were buying XRP and not Ripple, and had never heard of Ripple. Thus, they argue, weakening the SEC's argument. We'll never know to what extent this factored in Judge Torres' decision, but it's possible that the XRP community saved the day. So you could make the case that this 2023 Most Influential Award should be given not just to Garlinghouse, but also the entire XRP Army. Garlinghouse seems to think so. To be able to say unequivocally that the XRP is not a security is just epic. And he told the Hammerstein crowd. Again, they howled in delight. Some shouted, not a security. This is almost certainly first time in the Hammerstein Ballroom's 116-year history that people joyously shouted, not a security. Together, we fought these battles, Garlinghouse told the crowd, and together we won. Yeah, that was a good time. Okay, and then Mr. Intuitive, who is the official cool guy of the Digital Asset Investor channel and who was at the Hammerstein Ballroom, he says, the knight he's always been. And then this guy did a meme here, this Tree of Life. He says, I don't always get sued by the SEC, but when I do, I hand them their asses. And Brad Garlinghouse, I went into his likes, and he liked that one. I think he is enjoying the win, and who blames him? I can't imagine the stress of what he was under. Chris Giancarlo, who has been really quiet about Ripple and XRP, all of a sudden is talking, which makes you wonder, because he's a political guy. My latest, he did a write-up. This is some publication I don't have a subscription to. Let me make sure I couldn't read it from my phone. Let's see. Yeah, can't read it. I don't know why these guys do these articles on these subscription things. My latest piece, looking at recent U.S. court decisions affirming our 2020 analysis that XRP and other cryptos and digital assets are not inherently securities subject to SEC jurisdiction, unraveling Ripple and Terraform. And then he says, sometimes it's good to be able to say, I told you so, because this guy said, you said from before the lawsuit, XRP is not a security. I'm glad the courts saw it that way too. Now, Mr. Huber, who never lets it go, which is a good thing, he says they're not laughing anymore, they're cheering us on now. But how long will it take before they stop cheering for us and start looking at what we've been pointing at all this time? Now, folks, in this clip you're about to see Nancy Wotas, she brings up Russia. It's not Russia, never was, it's China. And I'm going to show you all the problems we've got coming to this country and are here now. And it has everything to do with the country with the C, not the one with the R. Now, that one may be a problem too, I don't know. But I know the one with the C is the core of the problem. It's a tell because the politicians will never bring that one up. So watch this, and then we'll go into it.
We keep hitting
This is from ETHgate. This is Nancy Wotas, who was one of the good people from ETHgate, in my opinion. I think she had good intentions.
Saying, look, something has to move. And if we want to lose blockchain to the Russians, as they want blockchain, they've articulated, hey, we're going to control the blockchain just the way the U.S. controls the internet. You know what? Continue on this course. Bill Hinman said, and again, he's the head of Division of Corporation Finance, who we're dealing with a lot, including, and we also are dealing with enforcement. I also challenge your hypothesis that they're only going after the fraudsters. They're not. There are cases that they're going after where the token had utility at the time it was minted, and they're still going after them. And, it's just outrageous. So
maybe that's because they're doing the bidding of another country that starts with a C.
Again, the Division of Corporation Finance told us that it's going to be several years before they do any kind of rulemaking or policy guidance. So what we have to do is, they said, look, come talk to us. So we have a case right now in front of Division of Corporation Finance. We put together a term sheet. They said, look, we don't want legal analysis, just put facts in front of us. So we went, we made a pitch. The woman who was lead at the meeting, she took me aside. She said, Nancy, we love the management team, clearly experienced. We love the product. We have a couple of issues we'd like you to address. So we went back, we addressed their issues, submitted it. Then it's death by 1,000 cuts. Well, what about this? We're not happy with how long people have to hold the tokens. We're not happy about this. So we resubmitted now. And at some point, there's frustration by the entrepreneurs saying, fine, we're going to go. And I said, that's fine, but here's your risk. They know your name. They know where you live. They can refer you to enforcement.
Wow. So it's not the country that starts with an R that's the problem. It's always been the one that starts with a C, and everybody knows it. This is the one. No, you won't hear any of these politician bad guys, any of these people who are obviously compromised, if not worse. The country they don't mention is the one that Lei Ming Chen is from, okay? Who, by the way, does anybody know where he is? Bill Hinman worked on the Alibaba IPO with him and with one Jay Clayton. Alibaba, remember, the same company that wanted MoneyGram, remember? Now, I'm going into the member group, and in the member group, we're gonna look at what are they really hiding, folks. I contend that what we're watching involves the T word. The word that used to call for hangings. That's what we're talking about. If you do not start seeing some of these people going to prison, you don't have a country anymore, and things are getting really scary. And I'm going to show you exactly how scary in the member group at daixrp.com. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that for the first time in my life, I literally think that we have a country that is being destroyed by our own politicians and our own people because they're bought, blackmailed, bribed, you name it. And in my group, I talk about it because we have the facts. And even those ETHgate facts were never in dispute. And the ones I'm about to show you that are just unbelievable, they are also not in dispute. And until you start seeing prison sentences and worse, it's really scary what's about to happen in this country.